Hello everybody and welcome back to Stellaris, where we are currently working on taking over a bunch of territory up over this direction. We're bombarding in a number of locations here. Wow, that took a moment to load. But we are definitely bombarding in a number of locations here, such as Flems and also Flurm. There's some fantastic world names up here, no doubt about that. And we're also apparently grabbing this. Dark matter, deflectors, reactor, and thruster. I think we already have all those, so that is fine. Now these guys are heading into Bayam, and they're going to land there. But this is pretty much all that we're going to get up over here. We've hit borders over here that we're not going to proceed beyond, and that's fine. So let's check through our planets here real quick before we get going on this war. Make sure that everything here is in a at least semi-reasonable state. We've got this ecclesiastical center. This does not matter. This is getting purged off, so this is not a problem. We've got this Forge World here, which is actually capable of a system capital complex for now. Once this gets purged of its undesirables, it won't be, so we should probably get this upgraded as soon as possible. So that looks fine for the moment. We've got this construction ship not doing anything in Nosti at this moment, and we definitely do want it to be building something. So let's have it come out over here, build a mega structure, and this will be a Habitat Central complex, but we'll need to wait for a month tick. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay. This is some real slow average daily ticks. I was seeing 18 when we first opened this, 1800 milliseconds. Now it's down to like 800, so I guess as it gets going, it's getting slightly better. So that's good. We're going to build a mega structure here. This will be a major orbital, and that will be going as soon as we have this influence that we need. We also are going to need to build some new orbital rings, and that's something that I have in mind. Okay. I don't know if that actually went. We'll find out. We hit an autosave there. No, it has no orders. Okay, so we're going to need to build a major orbital. Oh, there's not a major orbital. What am I talking about? I was clicking the wrong thing. Habitat Central Complex. There we go. That's more like it. Okay, so we have a construction ship here in Ciatera as well. And here... Right. So this is a location where we don't want to build orbitals, but we do want to build a single habitat. We don't have the influence for that. So that is okay for now. So let's pop back over this direction and start getting some of this under control. So at this point, we're invading in Bayam, and that means that I want to take these guys up to Unith, and we want to just get that under control. We will just inject the liquid into the egg. Sure. Cool. So that all looks good. We're going to have this completed fairly soon, and this will give us some additional territory, which is somewhat useful, but also somewhat not, in a weird sort of way. But we are getting a target uplink computer in here, so that is good. We're almost done converting the Demon's Maw station. Now, Aya Ball is still going to need some work. We'll get that upgrading to a Star Fortress. This will be a hangar bay, and then this will be a gun battery. And I would also like to get a target uplink computer going here. There we go. That'll be good. So Bayam will be under our control fairly soon. I'm quite certain that this was low on its army count. Yeah, that's definitely going to go pretty quick. The next question is, where do we go next? Do we go to Rogul? That's occupied by the Garoan Syndicate right now. That's awkward. Okay, so I guess we would come bombard at Gigaporia. Yeah. So control of this planet will switch to us because we control the starbase, I believe, if we controlled this planet. If they control both, we would lose control of it. So we would want that to not happen. Let's finish up this invasion, and then we'll immediately go up to Gigaporia. So that'll be fine. We are definitely going to take some losses at Gigaporia because it's not very bombarded, but that is understood. But I think we can still get access to that system. Or control of the system, rather. It might be some weird partial control. I know that can happen under some circumstances. I'm not really super familiar with the circumstances under which planetary flipping happens.
Aggressor colony emancipated.
Okay. So now we're going to head up to Rogul, and I want to immediately come in and land on Gigaporia. So this is going to be taking some amount of devastation here. They don't have the forces to be able to actually take this over. Shmoria is a bit awkward that they did take it. And we could see the same thing happening potentially up here with these guys, although they're passing through. Okay. One thing I want to do, well, for one thing, Talon Prime apparently needs some work. And this is 4 specialist jobs. Okay, this is a generator world, and we've already got an ancient refinery on here. We could definitely upgrade these structures, and then we could put something in here. Possibly a hydroponics farm. Or we could do something kind of inefficient and simply put in an exotic gas refinery. Honestly, that's not the worst thing in the world. So let's go ahead and do that. And then what I want to do is I want to grab this transport fleet from Radar Central, and we're going to move it up over this direction. I see that these guys are in position over here with some amount of forces. So that is definitely unfortunate. I do want to continue to reinforce our fleets here. I'm actually going to, I think, split this force in half. So I'm going to split this fleet. I'm going to take these guys. We're going to give them a leader. So that would be, say, this. And we're going to take them up to land on Flems. Okay. And then this other force, they're landing on Gigaporia. And then these guys, they're going to group up and also land on Flems. I just want to make some additional progress here because I'm very, very concerned about these armies coming through and taking territory from us. So we'll see what we can do about that. Hopefully that won't happen. Maybe they'll flip it to us. But also maybe not. So that is a concern.
Research complete.
100%. It's a major concern. Okay, so at this point, soil remediation finishes, and we're certainly interested in getting more of this tech done. We can just grab Alien Zoo. It's very quick, so that'll be okay for the moment. Okay, so Unith is now under our control, and I want to head into one of these areas. Yes, I want to head here and land on, or not land, but bombard Gluckaldor. So that'll be okay. And we should be landing here on Gigaporia very soon. Yeah, we are currently landing. So that looks good.
Invasion begun.
Excellent. So this fleet is now, in theory, freed up. And it doesn't really need to do anything in particular. We can take that back over here. And on Flems, this is 1148. And our overall army strength here is 1.9k. Okay, I'm not concerned about that then.
Construction complete.
Okay, so Gigaporia is going to be under our control eventually, but we are going to take some losses here. There's no doubt about that. Which is fine. That's absolutely understood. I'm not very concerned about it. Xenomorph armies are going to be a thing. We could maybe head down to Velderom. It looks like the Blarp Starfleet has taken that. So the tidal wave on its own isn't really well situated to take on that Blarp Starfleet, which is heading towards, like, Galurum. Let's just have you guys hold here for the moment. That seems fine for right now. So we know that this fleet here is freed up. So I want this fleet to head over to Rogul and join in right about here. We'll have them head this direction because we might need to take on this Udkavango Devourer fleet quite soon. So that is definitely something to think about. Okay, so Gigaporia is definitely working on being taken over, but the tick speed is pretty slow. No doubt about that. Okay, how are things looking up here? So we're invading Flurms, and this is looking pretty decent here. Okay, it's definitely trending in the correct direction. So no issue there. We've got this fleet on the way back, and I'm wondering how strong is the force on Flurm? Oh, they have invaded here. Okay. That's obnoxious. I really wish our allies wouldn't do this, but whatever. I guess we'll find out what the situation with Flurm and
Station
Flems
under attack.
is. Okay, so we can see that they're in Galurum at this point, as expected. I'm not surprised about that at all. So at this point, what we want to do is we want to get that other fleet up here nice and quickly. And we want to get the Gigaporia invasion finished. We really want to get these two systems, for the record. This is an arc furnace system, and this is a system with a science nexus. These are both high priority systems for us to get. So that is absolutely a concern. Okay, at this point, these two are ready to move back into Galurum. And we're going to take on this force. Now, I do want to make sure our fleets are reinforced. They are. And we shouldn't have a problem with these two fleets fighting the Blarp Starfleet, I don't think. We don't really know much about their ship design, but we can definitely come in here. And that'll be okay. Scum and villainy on Glagelbor. Rude.
Research complete.
Okay, so Rogul, I want to check in on. Gigaporia is almost through the reserves. We're not entirely through the reserves here. Okay. This is definitely looking painful. No doubt about that. And up over this direction, if we check in on the status of Flems at this point, this is looking much better. So that's understood. Rogul here in Gigaporia, this is going to be not the toughest thing in the world. I think we'll still succeed this, but it's definitely looking a little bit spicy. No doubt about that. So I do want to come back over to our capital here. And I want to use the army builder to get some more xenomorph armies going here. So let's get a few of these queued up. There we go. So that'll be fine. We also just finished up the alien zoo, which will be okay. And then we can grab something like army damage, plus 10%. That won't, solve the problem right now, but it'll be some distance towards doing that. So we're fighting this fleet, and that should not really be a problem, although we will take losses.
Handshake protocols activated.
Okay. We're definitely doing damage to them, but they're doing damage to us as well. And that's understood. Indeed. That is quite a battle ongoing, but we are winning it. But it will take losses. That's fine. So checking in here, let's see how this invasion is going. Yeah, this is fine. Not a problem here. The real question is, how is this invasion going on Gigaporia? Ah, they've come in and reinforced us. Okay. Well, that's probably a good thing, ultimately. We're hitting their backline here. I'd really rather we be hitting their front line. But I guess it's fine. So the reinforcements there will assist. I'm wondering if they will get Gigaporia, though. We'll see. Looks like they retreated here. Let's head into Velderam, and from there, this is another arc furnace location. So I would absolutely love to control Velderam, and there is a planet here, it looks like. I don't actually see it. But there is a settled world here somewhere. No, that's an arc furnace there. That's the starbase. I have no idea where it is, but we would definitely love to get our hands on this arc furnace down here if we can. So we're going to head down there, and maybe that opens up a path for us to continue to expand out this direction. That would be amazing. We'd be very, very happy about that. So let's see about Flems here. This is still ongoing. Okay. They're down to half combat width at this point, so that's looking good. Gigaporia, we are... Okay, they only have one remaining xenomorph army here. And we've taken out all of their disengage, so now we're just focusing on that frontline unit. So this is going to be fine, and we still have forces here. That looks good.
Battling aggressor station.
Okay.
Aggressor colony emancipated.
So we got that. That looks good. You can see the science nexus flipped to us. Now, this might flip to us, or this might be a joint custody system. I'm not sure exactly how that's going to end up working in the future. So that'll be interesting. I want to head up to Medak. up over this direction, because we are going to want to come in and land on Clegmore. Now, Clegmore is not apparently bombarded, so we should definitely... Oh, 5,668? That's going to need a significant bombardment. Okay. Noted. Absolutely noted. So let's bring these guys up for now to land on Grohundia, because there's very little left here. That'll be fine, and we're going to head up to Medoc, but we are not going to land on this, because that is extraordinarily significant. Okay. So at this point, you can see that this is not fully controlled by us. This is claiming that Rogul is an Empire colony, and it's coloring it as if it's ours, but there's still Shmoria here by the Garoan Syndicate. We will see if that gets transferred to us when the peace deal occurs. That is a possibility. Okay, so checking in on Velderon. Where is the settled location here? Because we do need to figure that out. We can see the arc furnace is still controlled by them. I don't see any settlement here. Am I just blind? Oh, it's Bleg. I am blind. Okay, cool. So we're going to begin bombardment there. Now, we do need to reinforce here. We need 487 minor artifacts for that. We actually have enough. So let's just go ahead and hit that reinforcement button. And I want to check in to see 134 days. Okay, noted. So Velderon is going to be ours. There, we gain control of Shmoria. Perfect. We also gain control of Flurm. That's exactly what I wanted to see. Beautiful. Absolutely phenomenal, in fact. So this is going to continue to replenish a little bit. We took a lot of damage invading Rogul, but for now, that's looking fine. Democratic ruler election, I don't really care. So this looks okay. Cool. Who's just insulted us? The Udkavango Devourers. Hilarious. We really, really, really don't care about that. Cool. So we're going to be invading Grohundia, and that's going to go very quickly. I'm going to pull the White Crush over, and we're going to have that help bombard over here at Clegmore, which we know is a very, very, very long bombardment.
Planetary invasion begun.
So that'll be fine. We're still working on this, and we've already finished this. So that looks okay. I want to bring these guys over to Gluckaldor, and they're not ready to invade yet. We want to let this bombardment continue for a while here. So that seems reasonably fine. I'm actually going to pull these guys over to Bleg here, and we're going to land on that. This is down to 600. It will be lower by the time we get there. So that looks fine. We'll get Bleg under our control, and then we'll continue to push out this way as far as we can. We'll see how much territory we can actually get out of this. How strong is the Allied army here? Oh, 382. Okay, it's going to be a while before we're ready to take on Clegmore. So that looks fine for the moment, and we're not ready to land on Gluckaldor just yet. This is at 1295. We definitely want to let that drop a while. So that looks okay. We do have more of these coming in. So we've got this transport fleet. That's about 1K. So I'm going to move that up to Minshir. And then we'll let more of these begin to group up at Radar Central. So we'll bring in some reinforcements up over this direction, and that seems absolutely fine. Once they arrive here, these guys will be able to do their invasion. So that sounds good. And Velderon, we should be capable of landing on basically right now, right? Yeah, this is 512. I'm content with letting this invasion happen, I think.
Planetary invasion begun.
Okay. So these guys, we then want them to push on to Takvan. And once they get this, we're going to have them bombard at Schlob. There we go. And that's 290, so that's not a concern. Cool. So all is looking good there. We're mostly just waiting for reinforcements here, not necessarily for the bombardment, although the bombardment will help matters. So that all seems great for right now. The Udkavango Devourers are allowing us to move out this direction, but it looks like Tarak is going to fall to the Mullernock Star Corp here. That is unfortunate for us. That's going to cut us off from pushing in over here, but this is already more than we expected to get. So that's all absolutely wonderful. It is awkward that Ambor exists here in the Garoan Syndicate. But, you know, what are you going to do?
Battling aggressor station.
Okay, so the science chip can definitely research up over here. That'll be fine. How's that Eye of Ball upgrade going? Well, it definitely still needs a lot of work. We do have a relic activation possible. So we want to run the Rubricator, and then I want to run lateral artifacting. And then we're also going to run the Omni Codex. Perfect. And that's going to put us up to 2,113 now that we took over Velderom. That number is going to be going down because we're going to be purging out a lot of these Ultra Udkavangos. I see 133 plus an additional 159 plus 5. There's a bunch of them. So this number is definitely going to be decreasing as we purge those out. So that's understood. I want to come in here next and land on Schlob. That's going to be a very, very easy thing to do. This is not a very well-defended planet. Okay. Eventually, these guys will get into position there. And I'm not sure why the Black Tide didn't come with, but sure, come on in here. So Turok is not fallen at this point. Huh. That's interesting. I'm going to tell the Black Tide to just come up to Turok then. They're bypassing this station. We'll see what happens with that. Maybe we get that. If we do, that would be interesting. That would potentially open up a lot more. I wouldn't expect to be able to get that, but maybe we can. That might be a possibility. So at this point, we've got these up here. Our reinforcements have arrived. So we're going to get these guys to merge together. And then we're going to go ahead and land on Gluckaldor. So that's down to 1215, and we'll have that all be done pretty soon. Yep. We are roughly twice their strength. We'll take some losses, but that's fine. I'm now going to pull this guy over to help bombard at Clegmore. We know that we're going to need it, and it'll take a little bit to get that done. Okay, so this is down to 5438. Yeah, that's going to take some significant time. So we can see that the Corinth Temple of Renewal took this, so that is indeed a cutoff. It was unfortunate. I was hoping we'd be able to grab that before they did. I was hoping they would all continue to do the hyper relay thing, but no, they didn't. It's fine. It's fine. Scum and Villainy on Shmoria seems okay for the moment, and let's just make sure that we are bombarding down over here. Are we landing on Schlob at this point? We are. Okay, so this is under control. All is looking good at this time. This war is basically over, at least for us. So that is Takvan under control. Now we're going to move this up to Medoc. And I'm going to move both of these fleets up to Medoc as well. We're going to head in and bombard Clegmore. You're sitting here, kind of uselessly, and we're going to also come up and bombard Clegmore. Clegmore is a big fortress, and that's going to be very important to take. So that's all seeming fine. Of course, Gluckaldor will be finished eventually, but they do still have some reserves here. The good news for us is that this defense army's morale is actually full. It's only been damaged by bombardment, I guess.
Life form encountered.
Huh. It has a lot of morale health still. Okay, well, we're spreading all of our damage out amongst the Xenomorph armies, which is not good. We want to focus our fire on particular armies, and if I was able to control this, I would focus our fire on this defense force, and then just whoever the lowest army is in terms of health. That's the way I would do this. I see that the defense force is getting hit now. Its morale is reduced. That's good. That reduces its damage output, and now it's broken. Its damage output is almost removed. We're through the reserves at this point, so now they're beginning to go down below the combat width. That means that we can start hitting their backline, but we would much prefer to hit their front line because the backline deals 85% less damage. So we want to take out the armies that are up here before the armies that are back here. That's not how it always works, but right now that is how it is going. So that seems absolutely fine. They disengaged another Xenomorph army. That's good. They are lowering their damage output. We eliminated one in the backline, but they're beginning to crumble at this point. There's only so many targets for us to hit, and we're finally starting to focus our fire a little bit more. But yeah, spreading out the damage like that is not great. That's for sure. Okay, let's check in on Medoc here and see how that bombardment is going. So we can see the Clegmore is at 42% devastation. They will start taking double damage from bombardment once we get that up over 50. So that's good, but that garrison strength is still quite high. And yes, Ambor's very awkward here. But ultimately, I'm quite pleased with how much we've managed to get out of this. This is more than I ever expected to get from this war. So that's wonderful. We're basically done with our war here, but we've got a little more to do. So let's check in quick on Minch here. Okay, that just finished. That looks good. We're going to move this into Medoc then. We want to position this somewhere around here. We're going to want to merge this together with our other army, which is currently like there. And then we can also bring in additional reinforcements. Now you can see there's a lot of these working on grouping up in Radar Central, but we can just bring these guys up to around here, and we'll get all of that merged together, and we'll invade Clegmore around the time those reinforcements arrive. We're up at 51%, so let's see, is it... I think it's actually 75% when the armies start taking double damage from bombardment. I'm pretty sure that's when that is. So we're going to have to get that devastation up a little bit further than this, but that's fine. We've got all the time in the world at this moment. So all seems good here. I'm having no problems with what's going on in this situation at this moment. So that seems good. I want to get these two merged together. And the overall fleet strength here is going to be what? I want to get these two merged together. There we go. And then we're going to get these guys brought in here. So they're going to merge here, like that. And that's going to be a grand total of, let's see, 2.6 plus 2.7. That's probably going to be enough. Probably. To invade Medoc. By the time they get here, we need to keep in mind, we're down to, actually this is going quite quickly now. Down to 3560. Fascinating. So this is definitely taking a lot more damage. This is because all of our fleets have arrived and we're just glassing this planet from orbit right now. So we're definitely doing a lot of damage to their garrison. The devastation is going to continue to ramp up, but it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and next episode, we're going to take Medoc, and that's probably going to be all we're going to end up taking in this particular war. Nothing else is very relevant to us, because we can't actually, physically take it. So that is fine. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Atala, Andy McGar, Ali Lee, Dark Horse, Xenocyte, Hira Marutsu, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge STL, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.